What's up, motherfucker?
You working, babe?
So, some of you know I've been hunting around for a vintage full body Jeep SJ for about a month and a half. Trying to find the right one, the right price, yada yada. I found one closer to me. It was like a half an hour away about 2 weeks ago. But before I could get out of work and go buy it, they sold it. So I missed that one. Well, I found another one. 1983 Cherokee Chief 4-door up in Fond du Lac, Wisconsin, by kind of by Green Bay. It's a ways away. Lined it up. Gonna go get it. Got my buddy Mo, his trailer, and we were gonna go get that sucker. And we left 5 o'clock in the morning to go get it, you know. And I'd been filming like I do for Bling Off-Road, all of our stuff. He picks me up, we take off, we get an hour away from there, so we're like 5 hours out. Well, this happened.
My blue barb has broken. The birth spasm has begun.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. So she texts me and says, I might not be going to my doctor's appointment today. I might be going to the hospital. And, you know, it's April Fool's Day. So I call her and I'm like, is this some kind of, what's the scoop here? And she's like, no, really, something's up. And I'm like, well, go to the doctor's appointment and see what they say. See what happens. And as I knew they'd probably check her to see if she's dilated and all that stuff, because she's not due, isn't due till Sunday, the 7th. And said, well, my appointment isn't until 1:30. And I said, well, call and see if you can get in. I mean, this is like kind of a thing, you know. So she calls and they get her in early, and she was there for a minute. They did some tests, hooked her up to some things, and they're like, yeah, you should probably go to the doctor or go to the hospital. Fuck. So I get a hold of the guy and I'm like, hey man, he had already known for a while that I told him, and I made jokes about it, like, as long as she doesn't go into labor. But it's April Fool's Day, it's a week early. Like, what are the chances, right, that this is actually on that day? I'm like, I'd have figured I'd work 12 hours anyways, be home by 9. You know, I was going to be home earlier than that. I was probably going to be home by 6 or 7. And so I get a hold of him and I'm like, dude, I'm not going to make it, you know. He's like, that's fine. We'll figure out how to hook this up again, you know. And meanwhile, she's like, well, you're already almost there. Go get the damn thing. And I'm like, I can't, you know. And Mo's like, what do you want to do here? I'm like, well, labor's going to take a little while. It should. But I mean, I was striking out at my odds so far already, so I didn't want to take any chances. And I figured if I was going to be late and miss his birth, it's probably better to do it without a Jeep and not look like a total clown. So we hauled ass, empty trailer, 5 hours. We get almost all the way home, about half an hour away, 40 minutes away maybe. And we were going to run out of gas. So we were going to have to stop for gas again. Thankfully, my buddy Smoke was in the area where we were going to stop for gas. So he met us at that gas station. I get out of the truck, hop in Smoke's sweet minivan, and he proceeds to drive me on the most harrowing drive of my entire life. He's ripping his weed pen. He's weaving in and out of traffic. Mind you, the door's caved in on the one side. He's like, don't worry about that. And every time he switches lanes, he's like, whoop, whoop. And like he's blaring hick hop and hood rat shit. And I literally was watching my life pass before my face. But I made it back. And she didn't end up delivering Donovan until 12:09 literally the next day. So I think I showed up at the hospital about 4:40 and sat with her. They started kind of getting her to start pushing at about 9. But I had, you know, you can't miss that. I had to be there. I think I sold that Jeep. So yeah, that's that. My son's here now. And now I got to figure out plan B, how to go get this thing. Which, you know, that I was going to name the truck Godspeed Hellbound after a Black Label Society song, but now I almost think that I need to name it like Premature Delivery or Due Date or Plan B or something like that. So that's the story of how I didn't buy the Jeep. So now I'm trying to figure out how logistically to get back up there. You know, initially I wanted to name this thing Godspeed Hellbound, but I think it's going to be Plan B. I know that my buddy Steve has a hot rod named Plan B. But, you know, my son kind of screwed Plan A up. So, yeah. So, story to be continued, guys. Once I get her home and settled, I'm gonna figure this thing out. I got a few few Jeep buddies that might be trying to help out too. So, anyways, stay tuned.